Okay. Well, oh gosh, oh gosh. All right, sorry guys. This will be part two of two. Um, yes, it's a big cup. I know it's huge, right? Um, my brother, my brother lives in Washington, right by Seattle and everything. So they have some awesome coffee out there too. And when him and his wife came for the wedding, they brought this with some coffee, like really good coffee. And so I like it. I like how big it is. Anyway, so all right. Now I just talking about my friend, and I just got done making a video, and it needs to be tweaked. But I was trying to find the perfect music to go to this video for her because I'm trying to get through to my friend, and oh guys. So I found the perfect song for her. Has anybody heard, well, I'm sure there's some people out there, Martina McBride, Broken Wing. It's about basically this guy who has control over this woman. I can only assume that they're married. But he basically just puts her dreams down, puts her down, kind of, has this control over her. And he's abusive in his own way, in a verbal way. And, it's really sad. I guess this really hits really close to home with my friend. Well, for me, it hits close to home because I've been there. It's my husband. Hold on. I don't know. So, anyway, oh gosh, you made me lose my concentration. She's going to be calling me back too. That's the thing. So I'm going to have to stop the video and splice. And so, basically, all right, I was saying that she was married and he had cheated on her emotionally. We'll just get to that. All right, so I talked to her while she was living in Missouri, and the divorce papers were already filed. He filed for divorce. She tried to stick it out and stay with him and everything, but he did not want to be with her. So he filed for divorce, and she was going to, try and get past the cheating part and everything, but he wasn't having it. So she was really brokenhearted over that, and it hurt. It hurt me to see her that way. She's like a sister to me. I've known her since I was like 14 years old, and her and I have just really close. And so I tried to talk to her on the phone while she's in Missouri. It's kind of hard for me to do anything, while she's down there. I can't hold her, I can't hug her, I can't talk, I can't really be face to face with her and talk to her about this stuff. I'm like, Barb, you need to move home. Your friends, your family are here. You have nothing there anymore. He doesn't, if he's divorcing you. And she's like, well, he thinks it's a bad idea for me to move home because he thinks it's bad to be around my family. Which I never understood that. If you don't want to be with her, why are you trying to get her to stay in Missouri? She has nothing there. He says, well, you have your apartment and your job. You're right. At minimum wage, working at a gas station, and an apartment, you're right. I could see how those are very, very stable things to, she doesn't own the house. It's not a career-changing move. It's a job. It wasn't even a career. It's a job. So basically, one thing led to another. She ended up moving back. And then she was heartbroken. She'd cry a lot. And she'd go by her married name. She still does, but she's like, I'm always going to be, and I'm not going to give you her last name, but I'm like, I kind of giggled. I'm like, hun, you're not always going to have that last name. I guarantee you, you'll get married again. You'll meet somebody. No. And then a couple of weeks later, she met somebody. And I kind of urged her to do this, which I did with the last guy, and I just need to stay out of her love life because obviously I just hand her the bad guys. And so she said that regardless of whether or not I push, she'd probably end up in this relationship anyway. So, there's Barb. So, um, yeah. So it was her boss. She got a job here, or where I used to live. Well, she got a job about an hour and a half from where I live now. And that's where she moved back to where her family was, which was about a half hour from where I lived in Dowagiac. So, basically, I can't think. So she got this job, and her boss starts flirting with her. You know, if you want to come back and talk, you know, you can. Even though you're off the clock, you can just come talk to me. And she's like, I think he's flirting. He's older, and I just don't think, you know, I don't think I should. I'm like, you should do it. You should, you know, why not? You know, you're not married anymore. You're divorced. Your divorce was final. I mean, get out there. And, you know, I just don't understand why I did it. I just want her to be happy, and I guess sometimes, I don't know. And so this guy was quite the charmer, and I should have seen the flags, guys. I should have seen all the red flags because of Annabelle's father. This is exactly how he acted. So she brings him over for me to meet. She ends up starting to date him, or she's still on the fence about it, but it was like kind of they were starting something, you could tell. And I mean, she's a really good girl. I mean, good girl. You know, like, wait till marriage, good girl. And so, which I'm not going to get into any of those details because it's not my place to say anything. But, so she brings him over, and he's older. She's younger than me, a year younger than me, so she's 29. And this guy's 42, he's 43 now, I believe. Which there's nothing wrong with dating someone older or younger, whatever, as long as it's legal. And so, I saw that she was happy, and I think that's part of the reason why I didn't see the red flags. He was a charmer. She brought him over, and, you know, he was all about, you know, talking to her friends and everything, and he had said, and this should have been one of those key points where I'm like, get out now. He's like, she gets whatever she wants, you know, that's my girl. She'll get whatever she wants. She's pretty much on a pedestal. She's a princess. Don't get me wrong, there are guys out there like that will do that, but it was just like he was trying too hard for the first meeting. You know what I mean? And so, everything was fine. And the scary part is, all right, she's my daughter's godmother. And so, I'd go over there a couple times, and he seemed normal, and along the way, she was trying to find him on Facebook so she can add him on Facebook, and she came across something else. Well, she does have a Facebook, which we'll get to next, but she came across, you guys, this is crazy. She came across this thing on Yahoo with his name. He used to be a cop. And, I mean, there was different things with him, different articles and everything. He went to jail for supposedly just pushing his ex-fiance, who he has a baby with, who's, 2 now maybe? I don't know. But she, they broke up. Anyway, it scared her when she found out. And she confronted him, and he got very angry over that, and basically saying, why are you doing searches on me? Why are you doing, you know, he just started freaking out. And he's obsessive compulsive, which fine, I am to a degree, but he's like the sociopath kind. And so, she's like, I wasn't, you know, looking up dirt on you or anything. I was just trying to find your Facebook so I could add you, which, by the way, he won't add her on his Facebook because supposedly his ex gets on there, pretends to be this and that, but he's put that since April, this past April, he put that he's in a relationship, which we'll get to where this whole thing is. I mean, this is such a long story, guys. She's pretty much, he's done a 180. He basically, all right, so he's abusive, this thing says, but he swears he's not. He started drinking all the time. He doesn't show her any kind of affection, nothing like that. He's got her wrapped. He was taking her whole paycheck. And then he tells her one day, My baby's mama is coming to move her stuff out. Why is it still there in the first place? I mean, how long have you guys been broken up and it's still there? That's ridiculous, first of all. And so I need you to move out of the house for about a week. Get all your stuff out and move out for a week, because I don't want her knowing that I'm with you or anything like that, because it'll ruin my chances of getting my little girl, which, by the way, he has no custody rights, no nothing, but he pays child support, supposedly, which doesn't make sense to me. And so he tells her he doesn't want the baby's mama to know that he has a girlfriend, because it's going to ruin his chances of having his daughter. If I've ever heard a load of crap in my life, that would be it. Because that is not the case. The only way, if he gets custody rights or whatever, the only way that woman can keep his daughter from him is if my friend or whoever he dates is psychotic, on drugs, and not mentally stable. You know, those are the only reasons why. So something clicked in my head. I'm like, whoa, Barb, wait a second. He's having you move out and you're okay with this? She's like, well, I don't want to be around when she's there anyway. Well, fine, but why are you moving your stuff out? That's ridiculous. And supposedly it was only supposed to last a week. Guys, it's been almost 4 months now, and she's still not back there. He's been spending more of his time with his ex than her. She's probably seen him, I'm going to guess probably about 7 times, and that's being generous. I'm guessing about 7, 10 at the most within 4 months. And all I could say is, I mean, it's obvious he's cheating on her. She knows it. He went to Memphis this past week, and I need to check and see how far along I am on this. Oh, I got 3 minutes. So basically, if you guys are interested in this, I'm going to probably get another video together here in a second. But long story short, he's cheating on her. He's treating her like crap, basically saying, you don't love me. You haven't shown that you love me. Excuse me, jackass. She's moved out for you. She's giving you her, well, she's not anymore. She's giving you her whole paycheck when she was there. And, I mean, he's just, and the other night she was staying, and I mean, he's hurting her. Because he totally ignores her. And she's not allowed to call him. She's not allowed to text him unless he texts her first or calls her first. Because he doesn't want his baby's mama to know that she's getting a hold of him, and he's told her this because she's going to ruin his chances with his daughter. That doesn't make sense. It's a lie, and it's really pissing me off. And I can't. It's like hitting my head against a wall with trying to talk to her on how this control thing works. And she knows I was in an abusive relationship, and I tried to explain this to her. I'm like, oh my gosh, Barb. And so yeah, and so she was here for a couple days. She stayed with me and Chris. Chris, he sees how he's acting, and he's like, we need to get Barb here. So we're trying to get her to move out here. Her boss already said he'd transfer her. So she wouldn't be losing her job. She'd be transferring from one store to another, and she'd have a place to live and everything. And she's like, I'm probably going to do it. She's giving him one last chance. It's such a long story, guys. Basically, she's in an abusive relationship, and she doesn't realize it. It is an abusive relationship. I mean, this guy, I called him, all right, he lives an hour and a half away. And let me see. Hold on. All right, a minute and a half. He lives an hour and a half away. And he had text while she was here. And she wasn't expecting to hear from him because she hadn't heard from him in a couple weeks. And he's like, what are you doing? She said, I'm at a friend's house. And he found out it was my house, and he knows I live an hour and a half away from him. He's like, well, come on over. I have free time. And she didn't get that message or whatever. But either way, she wasn't going to drive it at 11 o'clock, midnight, to go, all the way over there. And so he's like, well, I guess not. Enjoy. And then he started saying she was on a date, which was ridiculous because he could tell with the GPS thing with her phone that she was not on a date. So I had gotten on. Finally, he just kept downing her, and he's basically like, you can thank your date for ruining us, and blah, blah. He's tried dumping her like 4 times, and he knew she was with me, so I grabbed her phone from her, and I texted him, I'm like, listen, jackass, this is Candace, and I know you're playing games, your mind games. You don't need to be, if you want to play mind games, you play them with me, because I know exactly what kind of game you're running. Oh my gosh, he was so pissed. He's like, all right, that's it. Now I'm really effing pissed off. He's like, you can blame your friend because she just ruined us. So F off. I thought you just said her date did. I thought you said you don't want to be with her. I mean, he keeps changing his reasons. And she said that was Candace or whatever. And he's like, well, and he was referring to me, and she didn't want me to see it. I'm like, listen, he cannot hurt me. All right? He has no control over me. He can't hurt me. What did he say? He's like, well, he said, once a slut, always a whore. I laughed. I was like, really? Once a slut, always a whore. Good to know. I just laughed. You have no control over me. You have no control over me. I don't have feelings for you. So he's pissed off because he knows someone's calling him on his crap. He is pissed off because he has no control over me. He has control over her. And he's even more pissed off that she's in my presence and I'm letting her know exactly how he is. So you know what? Try and mess with my friend. Go ahead. I just get very, very touchy about this. It's past 15 minutes. I have so much more to say. I will update you guys a little bit later with another video, but that is some of what's going on. It's not all of it. It's not even near close to all, but you guys got the gist. I need some help. For someone who's been in this situation before, it's like I have no words for her. I don't know what to do, and I don't want her to wait until he physically hurts her, and he's very capable of that. If you guys look him up, you would see exactly what I saw. And just because he has one charge against him doesn't mean he hasn't done it before, which I have seen 3 or 4 different women saying he's laid his hands on them. And she is hell-bent on believing that he'll never hurt her physically. No, because he hasn't. She's like, I just don't think he will. Honey, it doesn't matter if you don't think he will. He's already abusing you verbally. He's breaking you down. He's breaking your self-esteem down. It's going to happen. I didn't think my guy was going to hurt me. We'd have yelling matches, and he'd be in my face and everything, and he'd break me down and call me names or, tear me apart, my confidence apart. And I still didn't think he was going to hurt me. Well, guess what? He hurt me a lot. And so it might not happen, and it doesn't happen right away. That happens when they have you where they want you. And I can't find the words. So I need help. If anybody, I said everything I could to her. I don't know what to do. All right, so I'm going to have to splice this video up apparently because I bet you I'm at 17 minutes now. So I will update you guys more on this. I'm just lost. I'm sorry I vented. And for all you creeps out there who think it's okay to lay your hands on a woman or even verbally abuse them, you know what? Why don't you go and do something about that, because you're not cool, you're not awesome, and frankly, you're just jackasses, and you'll get yours in the end. You guys disgust me. You make me sick to my stomach. It makes me sick to my stomach. So, and if you are an abuser and you're watching this, I'd prefer that you don't watch it at all and go get some help. Go to the psychiatric ward or whatever you have to do. That's what, anybody who abuses somebody, abuses a child, abuses a woman, abuses me. I think anybody who is an abuser needs to get lobotomy. Yeah. And yes, I do know a lobotomy is where they take a little piece out, and usually it doesn't change the personality. It usually just makes them brain dead. But I think that them people should live as vegetables for the rest of their lives, because that's how sick you guys are. All right, well, I've vented. I'm sorry. I'm so upset over this. So, all right, I will talk to y'all later. All right, bye.